You know, a lot of dudes, man, they go through some adversity. It breaks them down, like they give up. But I didn't give up. I didn't let it break me. You got to just keep going, you know? Like, it's now or never.
Welcome, everybody. This is your host, Jacuzzi, Life Like a Movie Dreams. And this is Maybe It's a Podcast. And I got my guest here, D-Mac.
D-May, yes, sir.
D-May.
Yeah,
D-May,
yes,
let me get that. D-May from New York, the Bronx.
New York City, Boogie Down.
The Boogie Down?
That's right.
All right. So can you give us like a little backstory about yourself? A little bit of brief, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, little backstory about me. Born and raised in New York, the Bronx specifically, home of the Yankees.
Who's your favorite Yankee?
Oh man, Luis Severino, that's my dude.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the pitchers. I don't know if he's still on the team yet. Haven't followed up on baseball in a minute. Okay. That's my first sport though, baseball.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I grew up watching it with my pops and all of that. You know, New York, it's its own country and its own, man. Like my block for the most part, growing up uptown, we call it the Northern Bronx. We call it uptown. You know,
uptown.
Yeah, uptown. Kind of like dangerous area for the most part, but my block for the most part, safe block. But once you venture out, you know, you kind of in no man's land. You got like a lot of local kids and all of that trying to like make a name for themselves by any means, unfortunately, you know. So it was like, you know, we either become part of it or just, you know, get out the way.
Any like famous hip hop from that block or whatever, that area, uptown?
So I'm close to Yonkers, so I gotta say the Locks. Yeah, I'm a Locks fan. Yeah, I grew up on the Locks. Man.
Yeah. Jada
Kiss, she, you know, Styles.
She.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So growing up on them, you know, early 2000s, you know, I'm more like, I can't really follow this, you know, this generation or like what these kids got going on now. I kind of just stick to my own lane. That's kind of how it was for me growing up in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, just sticking to my own lane, just trying to like figure out like, you know, life on my own, you know, how my parents did. I always kind of wanted to be, you know, just this guy like trying to just do things my way, you know, try to make a name for myself.
Okay, so when you was in New York, what was your like envision of like, you didn't want to be there in New York, but what was your envision for like your career field?
I love New York. Honestly, man, like when I was younger, I gotta say like teenage years, I didn't know what I wanted to do. All I wanted to do was like play ball, hang out.
What age were you started wanting to play ball? Like when your career started in that?
I started playing ball like maybe 13, 14, but I was never really that serious with it. I was in and out of like, you know, different tryouts. You know, I had a problem when I was younger, like starting things, not really being able to finish it, you know? But like my pops would tell me, even my mother, you know, sooner or later, man, you're gonna get older, you're gonna have to lock into something, like whether it's gonna be this or something else. I started realizing it like my mid to late 20s, you know? So for the most part, man, it was basketball growing up. I was always like a math and science dude, but like I grew up in the era where it was like cool to like dumb yourself down, but like that's kind of like what we were doing. And then like, you know, when I started high school, for the most part, like I had like a lot of teachers telling me like, yo, D, man, you trying to hang out with these knuckleheads? Because I went to high school in Harlem, 114th Street between 7th and 8th.
You used to take a bus to school or something?
I took a train, connected to 2 trains, the 5 train and the 2 train.
Why would you commute that far?
So growing up in New York, we had something called zone schools. We was assigned like, you know, our zone schools. Typically your zone school is like the school you don't want to go to. Yeah.
Wow.
So my zone school was like Evander High School. Do not want to go there. It's like a lot of like foolishness.
So how did you get the things? Did you use somebody else's address to get to use that school, to go to that school you went to?
Yeah, we had to request like a special application, pay an extra fee. Yeah, and I got accepted. And at the time when I was when I was younger, this is like middle school, I was like, yeah, I want to do law, you know, but that was just like the manly thing to say, you know. I didn't know I wanted to venture off into like, you know, the medical field. So I got into this school called Frederick Douglass Academy 2. It was 2 schools in one building. It was like, I went to Frederick Douglass Academy 2. We shared it with Watley High School. Watley High School was like, you know, known for the basketball, known for the athletics, known for all of the sports. But the problem with Watley, man, they had a lot of like gang stuff. Like I would say 2006, 2007 era, it was around, everybody knows who Dipset was. So Dipset kind of made it cool, like, you know, put on this false persona about being a gang member, like being everybody wanted to be a blood. Unfortunately, I stayed away from that, man. It wasn't really.
Well, how did you avoid that? Like avoid any of these gangs or any violent activity at school or whatever? How did you do that? You didn't have a clique, did you? Did you roll with Dipset or what?
Nah, I didn't roll with Dipset, man. I didn't know any of those.
Or was
dudes,
you a
man.
rough rider?
I'm a locks dude. Again, so I was always siding with the locks. Like I was always like, I like the message of their music. Like it's cool to like, you know, just be your own man. You know, stand up for your own too. Don't be a part of like, you know, all this gang stuff, all this nonsense, you know, that originated in LA in the first place. So I always looked at it sideways. Like I see dudes in New York trying to be something that they're not. I'm like, that's not, you know, really our culture, you know? So to avoid that, man, I just stayed in my, I kind of like had my boys roll with and stuff like that. But
how big was your crew? You had to have a crew because you can't just be walking by yourself.
Nah, that's a fact. Yeah, dudes.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm trying to pick that. I'm like, how did you get through the matrix like that? You know what I'm saying? Block to block, playing basketball, shooting or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How did you get to the bodega? You went every day by yourself?
Nah, I wasn't I wasn't dolly like that. I had two of my boys. Like they were like juniors going into seniors in high school, whatever. We would play ball. This one guy, real cool brother, man. I used to always look up to this dude, man.
What's his name?
My homie Quan, man.
Shout out Quan.
Shout out Quan. I gotta hit him up, man. It's been a while, but like, yeah, he just kept me like grounded, kept me focused. He was like, yo, man, just stay over here, stay in your lane. So I kind of like gravitated more towards like, you know, older dudes. So freshman, sophomore year, I wasn't really hanging with dudes like around my age group. Everybody was like trying to do this, trying to do that. I was also trying to get into like foolishness as well. I was caught up trying to be the freshest dude in school. You know, dudes wanted to wear polo, dudes wanted to wear like all this crazy designer stuff.
Wearing Timbs and all that.
I was wearing Timbs, ACGs, you know, like, you know, we had school uniform too, but like dudes were always trying to like, you know, go around it and do something else, you know. Add more stuff to the uniform. We shouldn't even be doing that at the time, but that's how I was in New York.
So you was like a teenager when you got into basketball, right? So
yeah.
You said your first passion was baseball. Did you play?
Nah, I didn't really play baseball. Like I played a little bit on my block. Like it was like a neighbor who lived right across the street from me. He got me into like playing it a little bit, you know, but I enjoy watching it. I love the Yankees, man. That's home field for me. But with basketball, man, I was kind of like a late bloomer, you know? I started playing like at 13, you know. I got more serious with it in high school, but problem in high school, bro, I was too small, man. I was skinny, man. I barely weighed like 150 pounds. Tried out for football. I tried out for like varsity football. I don't know what I was thinking, man. Like I got hit so hard by that linebacker. I flew across that field. I said, yo, man, I'm gonna just play ball, man. So tryouts came for varsity, got cut, you know, too small. I'm gonna be honest too, man. Yo, my confidence wasn't really there like that, you know? So that was like a major factor. My confidence wasn't there. Dudes was bigger than me. And a lot of them guys had like D1 offers too. So I was like, I was already intimidated, smaller than these guys. But the problem, man, you know, again, we in Harlem, got a lot of like peer pressure around you. You got like negative influences. And we right across the street too from like Forster Projects. Very dangerous hood in you know, in Harlem, man. One of the most dangerous, it gotta be one of the most dangerous areas, man.
A lot of drugs and stuff.
A lot of drugs, like you see it all, man. But you would also see some of the guys on that Wiley basketball team, man, like getting caught up. Like, trying to like be something they not focused in the classroom, not doing what they need to be doing. So I just said to myself, man, yo, D-Man, if you stay in your lane, you know, one day you won't get your opportunity.
Oh, so you do a lot of self-talking too?
I do a lot of self-talking. I do a lot of like, you know.
How old were you when you started doing that?
Man, I gotta say, I just kind of started doing it, you know, like as I got more like into like, you know, doing what I had to do, especially not worrying too much about what's going on around me. I was like, you know, I gotta like lock in.
Yeah, that's a great habit. I think, more people need to do that, self-talk and check themselves, you know. Yeah, and before somebody else does it to you, you kind of gotta think of yourself outside and look at it and like and evaluate what you want out of life. And it's good that you recognize that, you know, and you use that in your life. It's great.
That's a fact.
I was wondering how old when you started doing it, because most people are like, oh, that's kind of crazy.
Say, man, like I started doing the self-talking, man, like just thinking on my own, like after high school, you know? Like I was just like, you know, at the end of the day, like I'm fully responsible for like how I want my outcome to be, you know? Do I want to live based on the status quo, like everybody else, or do I want to separate myself from the pack? So my thing was, man, I need to separate myself and do what I need to do, you know?
So back to the basketball. So you were saying and you didn't make it to varsity.
Nah,
What?
I played 1 year in JV, man.
How does it go about? Because you were saying that when you was at 13, and then when you started trying out in high school,
I was a 10th grader.
10th grader,
Tried out,
and then you tried out. You was in 10th grade trying for varsity.
I was trying for varsity.
Yeah,
The reason
okay.
what pushed me to try out for varsity, it was two brothers, you know, real cool guys, man. One unfortunately passed away. My boy Damo.
Damo.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
boy
Damo.
Yeah, he made varsity as a 9th grader, man. I was
Wow.
impressed. I was like, man, if he could do it, I could do it. And my other boy, Malik. Yeah, my boy
Shout out Malik.
Shout out, yeah.
All right.
Boy Malik, he played D1 Boston University. Real thorough dude, man. These guys made varsity as a 9th grader. So I was like, you know what? I could do that too. I tried out, man. They ain't even pass me the ball, like turning it over. It was bad, man. But
Yeah.
I didn't give up. I didn't let it break me. You know, a lot of dudes, man, they go through some adversity. You know, they let it breaks them down. Like they give up. You gotta have that dog in you, man. You gotta just keep going. You know, like, it's now or never.
So you tried out for the team. You didn't make varsity your 10th grade year, and then what was next after that?
So what happened was that my gym teacher, Mr. Spivey, shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out Mr. Spivey.
Yes, sir.
He got a slick back?
Huh?
Mr. Spivey sound like he got a slick back.
Nah, he had a regular fade, man. Cool. He looked like, yo, real cool brother. We used to always like, you know, crack jokes on him and stuff like that. But man, like he held us down, man, like junior, senior year, because he started his own, he started a team for Frederick Douglass Academy too. He started in the charter school league, so I got an opportunity to play there. I didn't get any looks after that, man, but I was just hungry to play, you know. And on top of that, you know, with basketball, I was also doing a program in high school called the New York City Mentoring and Medicine Program. I ain't gonna lie to you, yo, my grades was horrible, like freshman year, sophomore year.
So what was your GPA average, let's say, in high school?
So we went on based on the numeric scale.
Okay,
my GPA was like, you know, low 70s, upper 60s. Yeah, C. That's translated into like a C.
C average.
C average, yeah.
Okay, boom.
But I didn't start stepping my game up to like maybe kind of like too late. Senior year. Senior year, I got introduced into the medicine program because, you know, my first 2-3 years in high school, I'm hanging out. I'm trying to fit in. I'm trying to do this. You know, I'm trying to just keep up with the Joneses, basically. And I
hanging out late night.
Yeah, hanging out late at night, you know, coming in late, homework not done, you know, going to school late, you know. It was just, I didn't start getting focused till like maybe senior year. And man, I learned the hard way. All them rejections started coming in. It was time to apply to college. Started like watching these rejection letters come in. And on top of that, going to school, you know, in Harlem, we didn't have the resources, man. We didn't really have all of the resources. We didn't have like the mentorship, the proper leadership to really get us to, you know, our next stage in life. But fortunately for me, I had a neighbor who lived right across the street. She was in a college program called, you know, for Columbia University.
What's her name?
Her name was Raven.
Hey, shout out Raven.
Yeah.
Shout out Raven.
Yeah, she's cool. She's married, you know, kids. Yeah, she's doing her thing. But she told my mother about the opportunity. You know, Devon should try to do the, you know, Columbia University program. It should just get you into, you know, college, just to get you like college feel for the most part.
Was it like a JUCO or something?
Nah, I was actually at the one of the Ivy League schools right across the street. So Harlem has like a weird setup. So Harlem, you got like on the west side. Pretty dangerous, you know, for the most part, but they cleared it out. They made
gentrifying.
They gentrifying it, yeah, man. Unfortunately, man, they gentrifying.
They jogging, or they got them girls over there jogging and stuff like that.
You see white people, man, at 3 a.m. Like I was in New York 3 weeks ago, man. Like just jog outside, jog at 3 a.m. I'm like, man, like back in 2009, 2008, like you're not doing that out here. Yeah, so they gentrified it. The only part of Harlem that is still bad is like the east side. They ain't touch it. They ain't do any modifications or nothing like that. They didn't update the infrastructure really. Like it still looked the same for the most part. But Columbia was like right up the hill. So my school was between 7th and 8th, which is Frederick Douglass. Forgot what 8th Ave was. And then you got Morningside Park. You got to go all the way up the hill. Columbia University is right there because you got Broadway. That's real safe. That's where all the college students is at. So after school, instead of hanging out, like getting involved in a whole bunch of nothing, I'm going right up there to Columbia University. Like I wasn't doing anything in the program. No, I wasn't focused or nothing like that. I just wanted to play ball, man.
So did you play ball for them?
Nah, I didn't play ball for them. It was just, I would just go to Columbia University. Like it was like a high school program. Give you like an intro to like college experience. So I would go there. I would utilize like their facilities, I played a lot of pickup. And that's when my game started developing. Then I started training with some of the players on the Columbia team. Because because unfortunately, man, you know, with varsity players, you know, in high school, their head is big. You know, they got the D1 offers, nobody could talk to them really. You know? So I would try to like work out with them. They're not trying to deal with that for the most part. But the Columbia, basketball athletes, they
ego that high like that? It was like gods or something like that?
Yeah, they had the girl, they was getting all the girls, all of that, they tall, they this, they got these offers, like,
wow.
Just not, it's like once them offers came, like, they just weren't serious no more. But I was getting some mentorship a little bit at Columbia. Like, I had a brother named Anthony Jones, real cool dude. Like, I still speak to him to this day. Like, he's one of my mentors.
Okay, well, shout out Anthony Jones.
Right,
okay.
I still speak to him to this day. And then it was guys on that basketball team. Like, I see them working out. I see them training. I'm like, this is where I want to be at in the next few years. Like, I want to be playing, I want to go to college and play ball. I wasn't even thinking of nursing at the time. I was in the veteran and medicine program with the Columbia University program, but I was just doing that program just to give me an outlet so I'm not outside running amok, when I get out of school. Yeah, so training with those guys on that Columbia team, it was different, man. They saw like what needed to be polished on my game. They saw, the things I needed to work on, the things that I was already decent in. I had all the suggestions. So I just took that with me all the way up until, my stats went up when I was playing in the charter school league. And then I had an opportunity to go to college and I played.
And how did you decide what college to go to?
Actually,
based on the school, the nursing school, or was it based on basketball?
It was more based on nursing school.
And what school was that?
So it was Felician University.
Felician University. And where's that at?
That's in Rutherford.
Rutherford, New Jersey.
MetLife Stadium, yeah.
New Jersey.
So right across the bridge, like 30, 45 minutes from where I'm at, yeah.
Okay, so you're crossing over to New Jersey.
Crossing over, I was doing all of that, man.
And now you going to school over there for nursing?
Yeah.
Well, how did you determine that? Because of the school program that you was going to?
The New York City pilot and mentoring and medicine program.
And then what they kind of hooked you up when you graduated, and it's like, oh, you got to like a scholarship or something?
Nah, I didn't get no scholarship, man. I wish. They just gave me the motivation of like, pursue like, the medical field.
So you had to, apply for financial aid and all that type of stuff.
Right. So that being said, I got on campus. I applied for I got some financial aid, but not really. But what helped me was
that Sally Mays.
Huh?
You messed with Sally?
Man,
you got to tell me about talk about Sally.
Oh, man.
Talk about Sally. Bring up Auntie Sally.
Yo, them student loans, man. Speaking of the student loans, man, they tearing up a lot of these people in the States, man.
I know.
Man, word of advice for the youngins, if you go to school, make sure you study something in like the STEM, like science, tech, engineering, and math. But so going back to, my experience with college, with the New York City Mentoring and Medicine program, motivated me to want to get into nursing. I was always passionate about, helping out, athletes, training them. But the problem was I wanted to play myself. So freshman year, I was open gym rat. I'm in there. I'm probably one of the nicest dudes in the open gym. Nobody was able to stop me from shooting or whatever. Not even bragging, bro. But I walked on the team. I walked on the Division I program. I ended up playing. Felt real good. I went back to go see some friends, in high school. I told them the story. They was like, "Wow, you playing in college?" I said, "Yeah, like I got an opportunity. I stuck with it, Wow, so I played. It was crazy, man. I played for a little while. I had to study too, man. I had to really buckle down and study. I had to also, man, became the campus barber. I started cutting hair.
So you cutting hair, going nursing school, and playing ball,
and hooping.
Yeah. So what made you start cutting hair?
So I left out the part where senior year in high school, I met a brother through his cousin. His name was Denny Moe. Denny Moe's Barbershop. Shout out to him.
Okay, Danny Moe. Shout out to Danny Moe. Okay.
Yeah, so I was in there cutting hair. This had to be, 2000? What was it, 2010, 2011. I cut there for like 2 years. I was supporting myself. My parents paid the tuition, but I had to buy my own books. I caught the partial ride playing ball, so that took a lot of weight off my shoulders for the most part.
So you ended up getting a barber license and all that?
I didn't get a full barber's license. I'm gonna be real with you. I got an apprenticeship. I never went.
So you was cutting hair under the table?
Nah. So when you become a barber, right? When you cutting hair, so every barbershop owner especially in New York, I don't know how it is for the other 50 states.
The schools, Okay. So you was like an apprentice.
I was an apprentice, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was just as good as all the other barbers in there.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So as a barber, like when you own a barbershop, you gotta have a master's barber. That's a master's barber license, I should say. With that, you have the authority to hire people like under you, other barbers, and you can have. I don't know how many apprentices you could have in the shop. But it was me and one of my other boys. So it was just me and him. And then he had probably 9 or 10 other barbers. Denny Moe's Barbershop in Harlem, 133rd Street.
133rd Street,
On
Danny
8th Ave.
Mo's, 8th
Yeah.
Ave. Okay, we got.
Yeah.
Is it still up? It's still running.
Still up. They still up,
Okay,
man. I was
supposed
supposed
to check it out.
I was supposed to go see Danny too, man, but
Yeah.
he's busy, man. Busy brother, man. But yeah. But other than that, he gave me some mentorship, showed me how to cut hair. And then I took that skill set, I took that into college. So like, on the weekends, there's no practice, no games, for the most part, all my schoolwork is done. Like I'm down there grinding, I'm just cutting hair. I always try to like do stuff, keep myself busy. And I was one of those dudes, man. I just like making money, I didn't like.
So you hustler cutting hair. That's kind of cool.
I was a hustler too, man, because I didn't really like that idea. Like, the time I was like maybe 20, going to my parents, asking them for money. Like, if I want to do something, I just want to do it. I don't want to be one of those guys when my label is wanting to do, my handout. I don't ever want to be labeled as that. So I kept with cutting hair all like 4 years of college, and then graduated nursing, and then of course continue playing ball.
Do you have any special highlights, moments that you had on your 4 years playing basketball, and also cutting hair? Did you have any highlight moments doing that? Did any like celeb or somebody special come in, you cut something like that?
Yeah, so I never cut a celebrity, but Denny was known for cutting celebrities. Like he had Keith Sweat in there, at the time. Keith Sweat, yeah.
Nobody,
yeah.
Who can cut you like me?
That's a fact, yeah. Fat Man Scoop was in the shop sometimes. Cool, real cool brother, yeah. He was in the shop. I was one of those, so I never seen celebrities as somebody like, to like worship. I always seen them as like
regular people,
just trying to, get it while they fit it,
Yeah.
But that was like kind of like a highlight, seeing like some of those brothers that I grew up listening to in the shop. And then I had like some highlights, playing in college. And like I had
what team? What, remember a game or whatever?
We had a game against Rutgers University. Yeah,
Rutgers
man.
University. Okay.
Played pretty well, man. Like, how many assists I had? I had a double, man. Felt good.
Double. And what area?
Where you
can get what, rebounds, assists. You get what I'm saying?
Point. Okay, assists. I'm the
points.
I'm the assist too. Yeah. As a fact, yeah. So I had the assists.
Yeah.
I was a shooter too. Shooter, good ball handler. Yeah, that's my thing. Yeah. So I was known for like break down the defender, but I take more pride in getting my other guys open though. Like, if I could take a few of my players, and make everybody better around me, that's kind of how like I play the game. That's the right way to play,
But then, okay, so then after that, then you did 4 years, you played against Rutgers, and then nursing. Because when you go to nursing school, it's like multiple like areas of nursing that you can study, right?
Yeah.
Like, did you like figure out what you wanted to specialize over time?
My thing was more like orthopedics, because I'm
with kids.
Orthopedics and like, cardiac. That was my two specialties, yeah. So when I got out of college, man, I got invited to play in the TBL League, the basketball league out there in San Diego. So that's when my pro career began.
How'd you get invited to that?
Yeah, just going to a lot of like open gyms, playing in a lot of tournaments out there. And
can you start naming a few?
The West 4th tournament, I played in a few. That was like New York City. And just being a gym rat, because sometimes you don't know who you're going to meet in the gym. So I'm out there, I'm in New York, I'm playing, I'm just working. Now I'm out of college, I'm just working, but I'm still playing. I'm playing in local tournaments. I'm just trying to figure out like maybe basketball's done. But the TBL League started in 2017. That's around the time I graduated college as well. So then I started seeing all of these combine opportunities. And at the time, I was still living in New York. And then I took the initiative just to move out to San Diego. There was a team I really wanted to play for, Black Coat. Shout out to Brandon Cheeks.
Brandon Cheeks, okay, shout out.
Yeah, so I went to the combine, and at the time too, I was doing travel nursing. Describe
what travel nursing is, so people can understand.
All right, so travel nursing, you basically under an agency.
Okay.
You're a contracted nurse, so they'll have you at and you pick the hospital you want to go to. If they have any needs, you pick the state you want to go to. As long as you're licensed in that state, they'll send you to like maybe a post-op floor, maybe patients that just had surgery. It's all your choice and all like what you want to do. But you're obligated to work there for like 13 weeks, and then you could just keep renewing. You could renew for up to a year, or you could go to a different hospital.
Travel nurse, is it like international? Could you work in maybe just only anywhere in United States?
Only in the 50 states, yeah.
50 states,
yeah.
Okay.
So Cali I always wanted to be in Cali.
And then how long is the contract for?
13 weeks. Some
13
contracts
weeks.
too, bro. Like eight weeks. You get 26 weeks. 26 weeks is too long. Like after 13 weeks, I want to take a break. You know.
Yeah. And then after that, so you'll go somewhere for like 13 weeks, and then after that, what you would do?
Yeah, so after the 13 weeks, I'll probably get a renewal, or maybe basketball season starting, because now, like in Cali, I was starting to play in the TBL league out there. So now this is pro basketball now, so I kind of had to like balance out my schedule with my my work and my hoop schedule. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Then the pandemic hit, man. 2020 shut all the basketball stuff down. I was like, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just work. I'm gonna just keep working. The travel nursing rates went up, started just racking in, trying to rack in as much as I can. Then eventually the pandemic came to an end. When I tell you it was no ball, like we couldn't play, like they took some of the courts out there in San Diego, they took the rims
down.
They took the rims down in LA. I was out there going crazy. I was like, I can't.
They took the rim down in San Diego too?
So there was a park in Mission Valley. It was like one of the main parks called Savita Park. Real nice, real nice outdoor park or whatever.
And what year is this again?
This is like 2020, bro.
2020?
Took the rims right off.
Man, we was in Cali the same time, bro. Why you didn't come visit me, bro?
Oh, man. I would have popped up.
You didn't pop up. You didn't pop up.
Yeah, man.
You didn't pop up with your boy. That's messed up.
Yeah,
man. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So, 2020 took all the rims off the court, man. I just didn't know what I was going to do. Pandemic came to an end. The micromanagement picked back up in the hospital. I was just like, I can't stay doing this too long with this travel nursing gig. I want to hoop. Like, I'm playing well. Things was looking up. The league started back up, and then I caught an offer out of nowhere. I caught an offer to play out here in Thailand.
What, to play semi-pro in Thailand?
Play in the FIBA 3-on-3 league.
3-on-3 league?
Played 1 year, but then it's just hard, like, staying on. It's just an issue with, like, keeping track of the imports, allowing them to play. It's a lot of politics, so, yeah.
So you got that through playing in the league, the TBL league. Yeah. They gave you an offer to play in Thailand.
Right. And the TBL league, so you got it's different.
And
levels.
How should you get in the TBL league?
You got to go to the combines.
You got to go to the combines.
So every year they hold combines in different states, and then every year they hold like a big combine in Vegas. I didn't go to that one. I went to a combine out there in San Diego, and I went to one in LA. So the one in San Diego, I went to that one first. But the main thing is too, right? I'm also gonna elaborate more on this. We're trying out for these teams. A lot of these athletes, they're getting out of college. If they even played in college, they like to just go to the combines and they don't know the coach. They don't know anybody on the team. The best thing to do is try to get acclimated to like how they practice. Try to meet the coach. Try to like meet them in the weight room. Go to their shoot-arounds. Go to the open gyms. So I was kind of doing that. Like I was networking with the coach.
Okay.
And the way I met the coach, I met his boy. So he put me on. He was like, yeah, they be doing weight room sessions. You need to just go in there, I'm gonna put in the word for you. Just go in there and then, let them know, like tell them I sent you. So they started doing like some training, some weight room sessions, some shooting. So I was making sure I was there, just showing my face. And then the combine came, I lit them up. So I was excited, man. And that's how I got selected to play. Yeah.
And how many people are at these combines?
Oh, man, it's probably about 40, 50 people trying out. And it'd be like 3 spots. So when you're in the
40, 50 people trying out, and it's only 3 spots?
Maybe 3 or 4 spots. And you're not even trying. It's just like the NBA G League. So when they announce like open tryouts, you're not really trying out for the team just yet. You're trying out to get a spot in the training camp.
Wow.
So that's how it is. So it's the NBA G League, and then you got the TBL League. So that's like the third one. Typically, a lot of players that get out the TBL League, they get an opportunity to go to a G League camp, maybe get selected or go overseas and hoop. So when I was there at the combine, they was making the announcements like, hey, we only got like 4 spots because there's a lot of players returning. You even got some guys returning who was playing overseas. We only looking for like 4 players. I saw all these guys in here. I was like, yo, there's no way, man. It's too many dudes in here. Like, I just said, you know what? I'm gonna just do what I need to do what I've been practicing, do what I've been praying for. I made it, God made it happen for me, and then had my opportunity to play. Played for a few years.
For what? With the TBL League?
The TBL League, yeah.
And then you got Yeah, in San Diego. But then you said you got an opportunity in Thailand. Is that like in the same misted time frame, or did you finish the 3 years or something
So
in
I actually
TVL
finished. So I finished.
and
I
then
finished
fly to
my
Thailand?
Yeah. So I finished my playing time in the TBL,
Okay.
and then after that, I remember just checking my mail out of nowhere. I was just on a travel nursing contract. I came back. I saw a mail. It was like from like an agent out here. He's no longer doing it, so that's probably why I didn't keep playing out here in Thailand. I just played I played like my first year, but I had like one offer for the 3-on-3 league.
Okay.
And then that played pretty well. Did my thing in Bangkok. But the problem in the Thai league, they're always changing the rules. So one year they may allow imports, next year they may say none. Some teams may take imports,
Yeah.
And this is why now
a lot of politics.
Yeah, man. So I'm trying to just avoid the politics. Now this is why I'm looking at my chance to play in the Philippines, where it's less of that. But Thailand is always going to be my home base. I'm staying out here. I'll just be out there for basketball season.
Okay. All right, man. Well, thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
And you're an unsung hero in your city and your town. I want to give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? You're a great product of New York, a respectable man, and I want to congratulate you. You're a good brother. And this concludes the interview,
Appreciate
man.
you, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming out here, man.
All right.
All right. We out.